morning, welcome back and Happy New Year everybody. Okay, day 52, Hayabusa build. Thank you for all your wonderful comments on this front fairing frame so far. I think the GSXR 1100 styly is definitely the thing to be rocking and rolling with. I love it to bits. So today I'm going to see if I can take that a little bit further. I'm going to try and pick up that top curve. It's roughly a 90-degree curve through about a foot of travel, if that makes any sense at all. It does up here at the moment, so let's get some tape measure. Let's get some measurements. I've got a load more steel bar, 6mm and 8mm, so all the materials I need. Let's get the welder out and see how much more progress we can make today. Welcome back. Okay, thought processes, bringing you in on this right at the beginning. I'm not going to waffle too much in this video, I'm going to get on with it, but I'm going to just at least impart where I'm thinking I have to start with this. I think the point to start is this curve on the top. The curvature on the top of the fairing I think is vital, visually and aesthetically as first of all, and also in balance with the rest of the bike. If you look at the GSXR 1100, the old endurance racer, the H model with the big twin headlights, its fairing on the top was very rounded, very bulbous. And one thing I think that's going to work really well with is the tail. The calf racer tail has got that fabulous curve to it, and I think the two, one front, one rear, is going to look fantastic. So it doesn't want to be too tall, otherwise it's going to be out of balance. Also, I don't want a big windjammer fairing up here. I want a fairing that's low enough to be unobtrusive and out the way, but at the same time, I can just glance in there and see the clock, so I don't want to be ducking my head under to try and see what the speedo's doing. So looking at it and measuring that by sitting on the bike, that height is roughly 10 inches from the key. Where the key slot goes in, taking that as a fixed point, 10 inches high, that's how high it roughly needs to be. And looking at that as well, there's some great measurements that just seem to fall into place. If we take that 10-inch measurement there as the height of the fairing that I'm planning from the key slot, if I come forward from the key, it's 10 inches to the front of the fairing as well, which means that when I make that arc, it's going to be a perfect curve. It's not going to have to loop up or loop back. It's going to be a nice curve over 90 degrees. I really enjoy doing that. And also, it's 10 inches from the top of the light ring to the bottom of the fairing, more or less. So there's going to be a balance to it. We've got 10 inches from this center line to the bottom. We're going to have 10 inches from there to the top and 10 inches back. So the whole thing, hopefully, is going to look nice and visually balanced and then work aesthetically with the tail and the curvature of the back of the tank. Well, that's what I'm trying to achieve anyway. Wish me luck. Right, okay. It's 11:30 now, 2 hours since I arrived this morning, and I've done 1 bar. Now it seems like that's pretty lame, but I've done it to a perfect outcome. And what I mean by that is, it's 90 there, 90 there. It's dead in the middle of the bike and the frame. It's dead above the key slot, and it's exactly 10 inches to the height, which I intended, and it's a perfect curve. And all of that accuracy takes the time. 2 hours just to get 1 bar absolutely perfect. But when it's the spine, when it's the central backbone of what is going to be this top end, if that's cockeyed, then all of it's going to be cockeyed, because from now on, I'm going to be able to take stuff off this. So taking 2 hours to get that one absolutely cock on first time, that's well worth it. That's time invested, because from now on, it should be easier, shouldn't it? Shall we see? Right. Right, the next thing, now that's done, is the hand guards. If you look at the GSXR 1100H model, seeing as we're kind of emulating that, it has a pocket either side of the fairing, which when you turn the bars, gives you that safety space for the bar, the lever, your hand, your glove, and a safety space in case you receive an impact from the front, so you can get your hand out of the way, especially since I'm making it out of metal. So I need something that's now going to come round the bar. I turn the steering all the way to its extremity, in this case to the left, and I work on the right hand side. That's as far forward as the bar comes. I've now got to come off the side of the headlight frame, come round and stop at the width extremity that I'm chosen to go with, which is the frame. This whole thing's not going to be any wider than the frame, so that visually it kind of blends in with the frame, because the frame's a big fat thing. So I think that would work. I only need to bring it out standing here, probably to about the tip of the lever, and the rest will just protrude. So for now, it's a little piece coming out there. Then I can bring that curve around the front and down and round and round and up, and it all starts to take shape. So this is, I think, as defining this bit now as that was. So it could well take another 2 hours. I hope not. Right, let's move on with it. Okay, well that's everything welded that I can weld from outside. So let's get it off, weld all the inside faces, grind it all back, clean it up, put it back on and see what it looks like. Right, now that has been a very long day. 5 p.m. now, 8 hours on this job. I'm monumentally pleased with that. I seriously am. I feel better every time I finish the next stage of this. What has it been? 1, 2, 3 videos at this so far. And each and every time I'm more happy and more blissfully over the moon with it every single time. It's starting to take on the look of the old GSXR 1100. I've been Googling a few pictures just to make sure I get that line right. And I think so far, I'm on the money. Now, the top bit does look very weird, okay? So please suspend judgment on that before you start the trolling. It's not gonna stay that way. This line is far too far back, but I cut it long so that I know what the height was above the key so that I could get the curvature correct. What will happen now is these wings, these pieces here will come back, go up, and then the fairing line will come round. The top of the screen, if you look at the GSXR 11, the H model, the top of the screen didn't kind of go over like an arch, kind of went forward, round, as if you kind of stood a bucket there and drew round it. So that's going to be far nicer looking, far more in keeping with this look, and at the same time far safer, because that, well, that's just a suicide mission, isn't it? So that ain't going to happen, all right? So the same as this, all this is unfinished. In the next one, I'm going to deal with that top area and hopefully be able to bring off the look in the top area as much as I have on the light and the corner, the bottom ears here. And they look absolutely fantastic. If anyone picks up on this, these air intakes are covered. They're not going to be. I'm going to cut a big slot in that and put an inlet tube in there, so it'll be just as much ram air as the standard bike. I'm really looking forward to making that. Perhaps some sort of big oval Frenched funnel going in there. Loads of opportunities, loads and loads of potential, but I've got to keep calm. I've got to hold myself down, and I've got to stop celebrating and actually get on with it, because I really am happy with it. It's going monumentally well, but I've been in places like this before and suddenly it can all go wrong and look naff and you just lose faith in it. And I really don't want that to happen. So there we are. That's been number 52. Thank you for watching. Take it easy, ride safe, and join me in the next one. I'll deal with the top bit, hopefully. I'll see you next time.